then the healing thing, do people call you up who have cancer or this or
Yes,
that, and you
all
do a
kinds.
remote healing on them?
Yeah, I do remote healing. And that
Okay.
remote healing started, I don't know if you want to hear that story if we have
Yeah,
time.
tell us some stories about that. We have a little time.
So the remote healing, I realized when I was doing an advanced training in rolfing, my teacher at the time, he was having wrist problems, and he was one of the top people in the field. And he was going to have to retire because his wrists were in such bad shape. And he said, can you come over and work on me after class? And that was an honor in itself to be asked. So I went to work on him while I was there. And the last day, when I was getting ready to fly out, he said, "Hey, can you work on me some more before you leave?" And I said, "I can, Emmett, because my flight's in just shortly, so I have to leave." And it just went in my head, how about we meet in the field and I work with you there? And so that's how it started. And he would lay on his table, I would lay on my table, and just go into a deep meditation. And I actually started working from the inside out, just like I would work layer by layer of the connective tissue. So I'd work his wrists from the inside out, and by being inside, which was really interesting. But what happened was about 3 months into this, um, all of a sudden in the middle of the night, I woke up and I started working on him. And I thought to myself, what are you doing here? You don't have an appointment with him in the middle of the night. Go back to sleep. And so I went back to sleep and I had a humongous, terrible, worst of the worst nightmare. I felt like I was strapped to a table and I was choking to death, and I couldn't breathe. And it was just horrible. I woke up shaking, trembling, and then I realized it wasn't me, it was Emmett. And so uh, I decided to go back in the dream and tell him he was going to be okay and I wouldn't leave him alone. Well, when I went back in, he was surrounded by angels. He was just a young boy and he was getting his tonsils taken out, and he wasn't under all the way and they cut his throat. So he was choking on his own blood. And they were holding him down by his wrists. And he was 70 some years by the time we were doing this session. Anyways, I didn't tell him for a few weeks, and then after I told him and I had written everything down, and he said that absolutely happened. I think he said he was 12 or some young age, and he said they were holding me down and I about died. And
Wow.
he never had wrist pain after that, which I found very
Interesting. So his
interesting.
wrist pain was actually the trauma of that experience when he was 12.
There was memory there. Our bodies can
Huh.
hold on to memory, and so I realized that remote healing is possible, and I started doing more of it.
Yeah, and somehow by you having that whole experience of what he had gone through 60 something years before,
Yeah,
helped to resolve the trauma for him.
yeah. And
Interesting.
so I realized that that's possible. Remote healing is possible, that there really is no distance. Um, and we can sink into that. And I've had amazing things happen for people. So I teach them what was given to me and how I healed my own neck. I was told I'd be a quadriplegic and never walk again if I was bumped one more time. And by the time I went back for surgery, they did another MRI and it was completely healed. And
So
so,
if you wanted to, do you think you could do Aikido now and you would
yeah,
be safe,
I
or do you
could.
think you'd still be vulnerable?
I think I could do Aikido now. As far as the
Cool.
MRI, I haven't asked him, so I can do Aikido, and he said yes. So
Oh, interesting. Wow.
and he said he'd never seen this heal, so he was quite surprised. In 30 some years of neurosurgery, he's never seen it heal like this. This is not unique. There's many people that have healed themselves of, you know, uh, you know, Joe Dispenza,
Right.
there's lots of people who've done this, and I think we can all do this. And so I teach people a practice that I did, and yeah, so I love teaching it.